Here's a look through the latest charts heading into the weekend, and for Friday we've got a ridge of high pressure just building in across the country, so a dry and a bright one in prospect for many areas. Just a few snow flurries around, say, northern Scotland, around the west coast of Scotland, and a few brief showers just coming down into the western side of Wales, but these should tend to fade and most places dry all the way through the day. We've got north to northwesterly winds, which will be strong in the morning, but easing down with time, winds becoming very light across Scotland in the middle part of the day and the afternoon. Fronts are moving in from the Atlantic, and that's then bringing the change into Friday evening. It'll be after dark, though, before any rain or snow comes into the western side of Scotland, but it will then set in overnight, becoming persistent across the West Highlands through the early hours of Saturday, turning to rain at lower slopes, but over the mountains extensively falling as snow, and that moving towards and into Wales and western parts of the Pennines by the time we go through into dawn on Saturday morning. So here's the chart for midday on Saturday. Low pressure is across central and southern parts of Britain, with a slow-moving front draped from north to south, and along this zone is pretty persistent snow and sleet. At lower levels it may be sleety and wet and mostly trying to be rain. Particularly in Wales it could be 500 or 600 metres before you find something that genuinely becomes snow, but that risk nevertheless across most of the hills and mountains of snow falling for a good many hours. In western Scotland that front may just push through and things may just become that bit more showery, with snow and hail showers more confined to the far western coast. Winds fairly light, but across Wales in particular could see northwesterly winds up to gale force. Pressure begins to build through into Sunday, but we've still got the leftovers of that front still around, and it could be enough to produce some snow and sleet in some areas fairly persistently, but tending to fade out with time, but leaving a legacy of murky grey skies and some low cloud, banks of cloud across the hills at various levels. That could be down covering lower slopes in some places, but a chance of an improvement, particularly across western Scotland, where cloud could break up quite well, and it could be a bright winter's day in these places, with winds generally very light. Just watching for northeasterlies, though, keeping things feeling chilly across the higher ground of the Pennines and Wales. And a quick look towards Monday sees fairly high pressure across the country, a cold air mass that's in place, a widespread frost then overnight in many of the valleys and the glens. Winds could be strengthening across Scotland ahead of fronts trying to encroach in from the Atlantic, and that may in the end bring some further snow as we head into the later part of Monday or Tuesday. And the general outlook for next week is staying cold, with the risk of some further snow in there at times. We'll have more details on that in the full planning video updated on Friday.